This is Martin Shermanton, and this video is going to cover Google Local and Google Places and also Google Maps, and it isn't as straightforward as we'd like it to be. So Travis Tailor, who's a Plus Your Business moderator, is kindly going to walk us through a lot of the things that are going on right now in relation to all of these, as Google Plus in particular, as the social layer, goes across these services and brings things together. So I'll pass it over to Travis and he will talk us through it.
Hi there folks, my name is Travis Tailor, and in this video I'm going to be speaking with you about Google Local and helping to try and clear up some of the confusion and local or craziness that is happening within that area of search, and how businesses can better understand where their information is showing up, how it's showing up, and why. And when people come to look for you, where they're going to find that information. So if you go into a regular search here, and we just search for my company name, now specifically the name, DigiBid Media, and it's going to open you up to what looks like just regular search. You have my website that pops up, my Google Plus page, which I have a Google Plus page that is, I believe, has to do with more media, whereas somebody that has a local business ideally wants a local business or places page, which I do not have. So when I go to here, you're going to see my actual Google Plus page with the about, posts, and all that. And as you can see, we're up here in profiles. The little image here, if you look down, that shows profiles. So when we're in this area, we are not in local Google Plus. We are in a Google Plus page. So let me go back to search and show you what happens when we go into the search again and specify the city. So I'm in San Diego. And voila, what appears is a whole other arrangement of information. Of course, first you got my website again, and now my YouTube channel pops up. And you know, several other of my information. But over here on the right, this area here is actually what is referred to as Google Local information. This is one of the areas where your information will show up when you properly place information into what's called Google Places for Business, which I'll show you in a moment. But here inside Google Local, you can come here to the map and it will take you into Maps. Again, another location through which inside search and Google products that Google Local information will show up. And this is how my business displays inside of Google Maps. You have DigiBid Media, the name. There is no address. Mine is a service that goes out. So this displays differently and is much more limited than a company or a local business that has a place that you can go into, like a restaurant, or it has a physical location that shows the address. I will show you what those can do in a little bit. You can star it so that you can save it for your own maps. You can go to my website, call me, or you can go and see the reviews or do a review. Now, these areas are more for prospective clients and present clients to get to you, find you, connect with you, and hire you. So it's important to set your Google Places up properly. And I will show you here in a moment how we get there. But first, there's one more area that all of our Google Local information shows up, and that is in Google Plus. Now, we are in Google Plus, but we are not on a Google Plus page. You saw my Google Plus page earlier, and this shows a map, not the page with the clouds and the light coming up. Aww. Anyway, so in here we are in Google Plus, but we are in local Google Plus. See down here it says local, and that's the image that it's showing. So anytime you see this image up here in the upper left-hand corner next to Google Plus, well, of course you're in Google Plus. You're no longer in the Places or Google Local. And you can also tell by there's only about and photos. Whereas in the Google Plus page, you will see also, of course, your posts and YouTube channel or whatever it is that you have many more options in that regards. Same information is showing up just as it did inside Maps. You can plus the page, but on mine you can't follow, and that is because well, it's not showing my business as a verified business yet, and that is because of the type of Google Plus page I created, and that's why those two can't connect. I actually created a page that is different than a places entry or local business page. Now, in order for me to go and edit this information to get to places, this is one way to go to it. And what we'll be seeing here now is this is the old version of Google Places. I currently do not have access to the updated new dashboard that you get when you first now sign up to Google Places. If you're a business just starting off, you're actually in a much better position than many businesses that started off with a Google Plus page and then learned about Places, which is actually the way I ended up doing it. And I probably should have maybe created a local page, a local business or places page when I set up Google Plus, but I picked a different kind. So I am stuck here with the old platform of Places. You do, however, have access to your insights. You can put your information and description. In fact, a lot of this information that you put in will get crawled by the Google's web crawlers, but will not get indexed. It won't show up in search. As you can see back on my old page, there is a limited amount of information that shows up here. This is not at all the amount of information that I've put into here. In fact, one of the examples that my information is not showing up the same is that I've put these images here about 4 to 5 months ago, and of course if you look back at my page, they are not showing up. Now, they may not be allowing me to upload these images just because they're Google's images, and I know there's some rules with that, but they haven't sent me any indication about whether or not this is the reason why they're not being loaded. And that's one thing that would be nice if Google could at least be a little bit more informative about why or why not something is happening. I mean, we all know that the terminology alone within Google Places and Google Plus for local businesses has been really just a mess. But while you're in here, you want to try and maintain both areas. Now, you go into offers here. I'll explain that through the dashboard. You'll end up in the same place from here. This offer links to the same offers link from the new dashboard as well. Now, one thing also to remember is if you are having to deal with the old Places dashboard, as I am, you are going to have to make your content, your updates, and your information the same across the board. When dealing with Google Places and Google Plus, especially if you don't have a service where people come, or a business where people come to you, and you're not able to connect your Google Plus page, you have to make sure that you maintain the content on both these places, because what you do in one does not change in the other. So you want to make sure that your NAP is the same in both platforms. In fact, you want to make sure that's the same across all of your digital platforms that your business is on. NAP stands for name, address, and phone number. Those things need to stay consistent, or Google is not going to be able to tie your information together properly, and then you will start to run into some problems that many people are running into now, having duplicate listings, information that's in their listings that they never even put there, it can cause all sorts of problems. So the number one thing when setting up any digital content online is making sure that your NAP is exactly the same across the board. So that's just a quick overview. Let's run and see what happens when we go into the new dashboard for Google Places. Now that my business personally doesn't have access to the new Places dashboard, I do now have access through one of my clients. He is a local licensed marriage and family therapist, and he needed some help getting his business and his reputation visible online in search. So we went forth and created everything we need to do and basically followed all the rules. So now everything with his platform is set up, but I find it interesting the route through which you have to get to the new Places dashboard. If I go in and just do a regular search, that just because this is the way we did it before, then there's two different listings for the same location and even the same person. Now this is something that Google is moving very slowly on, is that we've already gotten rid of him off of this page. He shouldn't be the main name here, but we've submitted the information and for whatever reason it has not changed. So this is the one we want. When we go into here, of course, again, this is our local listings inside Google. Now, when we go to maps here, well, I want to show you something, because in a little bit I'll show you another example where it takes actually someone to a different page, and I'm not sure what the mechanics behind this is that's allowing or not allowing various links to happen. So when you press on Jack's photo here, it just brings up a photo of him. Sorry, Jack. So come back into here and just remember that, and there'll be a point to that a little bit later. So if we try to go into through review right here, it's not a solid link either. It takes you actually just to a box to do a review. So you have to go through through maps, and again we're trying to locate how to get into Places and edit stuff, and I'm just showing you how complicated it can be and then how to make it easier. So when you come into here, all your information is there as we spoke about before, and we'll go through here as we did before, and now we're going to end up in Google Plus, inside the local area of Google Plus, and now see here we have the local image there, Google Plus, and now we don't have a map there anymore because his Places page is connected properly to his business Google Plus page, which is, by the way, a local business place that you can physically walk into. His clients go to him, and he has an office at this location, and they can call him and set up an appointment and go down there and see him. As well, on this page that is a little bit more beyond like what you saw on my page is that you can follow him from here, where again we're in local, not in a Google Plus page. You can plus there, you can share inside Google Plus, you can upload a photo or upload your photo here, either place. You can also star this place and get directions to this place, or write a review. But in this case, as Jack Sullivan, I would not write a review for my own place. Again, this is an area that is more for the interaction of your customers to interact with each other, and just as business has always been word of mouth in a local community, the same is true within the local community here in Google Plus, and the potential there is really quite far-reaching. And then of course it's a verified local business. Now if you don't have this, you can't access and get the new Places dashboard, which means you won't be able to combined your local Google Plus page with your Google Plus page. And so that's essentially, this is the only situation I know of where local Google Plus connects with Google Plus. And again, it's a local business that you can go to. Now again, to edit this, a review down below, and at the top again, the posts, here's a big difference. You know, you can post from here. Again, we're in local. And then to manage this page, I would have to accept that I'm a manager to go in and manage this. And it takes me into actually the Google Plus dashboard. It does not take me into the Places dashboard, but this is again the only situation that I know of thus far, and hopefully this will all change as Google evolves this platform, but this is the only one I know that shares the Places and local information within Google Plus. This is here again, we are in Google Plus, but we're in the dashboard for the business of Jack F. Sullivan, and this is where we can see sites. And I'm not going to go into this very much, but it has some of the similar aspects that your Places does. Create an offer, notifications, see your managers. So, but this isn't where I want to take you right now. This would be for another discussion, and it does have some aspects to it over here that don't or are not available within Google Places. So how do we get into Google Places? There doesn't seem to be anywhere that I'm aware of from this page if your pages are connected, and even otherwise I've seen cases where it's just not easy to find your Places account. So if and when that is the case, the easiest route to take is just to go up into your search bar and put in Google Places. One thing to remember is that Google has combined all of their products so that you only have to use one account, email account, to sign in for everything. So instead of going here and getting started for a free account, well, in at least Jack's case, we needed to go in and claim the Places listing because it had already pre-claimed it. Google has at times or will take information from other directories online and add them to their local listings for search inside Google. And what happens is if you don't claim that space soon enough and you accidentally create your own without claiming the other one, then again arises where you end up with a couple different listings, and it really just is a headache then. You'll sign in up in the upper right hand corner. This is really the easiest way to access your Google Places. Now, when we come into Google Places for business, you will see all the listings that Google has for your business or businesses. Now, some you may have created yourself, some you may not have created. And this is the listing that we don't work with. I work with Jack on this listing, and we're waiting for this one to go away. Or not go away, but change. Actually, this is La Mesa Counseling is correct. Jack shouldn't be the main name, I don't believe, in the search area, but maybe that's how it works now. But now that that says La Mesa Counseling, that's exactly what it should be saying. Awaiting PIN. So this apparently they have not received their PIN yet, or if they have not put it into their account, which means they are not going to be able to advance forward and create a Google Plus page until they verify that PIN and use the new dashboard. So as you can see, Jack has, since he's verified, has got this check mark, means that the business has been verified. Since he's verified his business, he has the availability for Google Plus. Now, we already created a Google Plus page before we actually even had the Places listing because this was a new business for Jack. And once we created the Google Plus page, which was a local Google Plus page for a business where you can walk into, because he takes clients there at his office. And in this listing here, since it's not verified yet, they don't have Google Plus page available. They have everything else but that. So that's one way to determine where your account is at if you're working within the new Google Places for Business dashboard. So when we go into the dashboard, you'll notice that this is kind of an introductory page, and this first part coincides with the listings, and it's the same information that shows up in the maps and your local Google Plus page. Now, if you want to go into your local Google Plus page and it's connected properly, you can actually get in there through here. But we're not going to go there right now because I've already shown you that. And inside of here, you basically can do some of the things that you can do here, but you don't have the access to the next or the following capabilities, which is first AdWords Express. AdWords Express is geared towards smaller businesses with smaller budgets. So it really focuses on a local area, and again, it's a smaller budget. You would not want to use this if you were a larger business. Next then, of course, is Offers, which is, I think, in my opinion, for local businesses, a really, really neat system that I'm not sure many are taking advantage of. What Offers does is you can create an offer, like let's say, 20% off of this or that, what have you. It's a direct information to interested buyers that are looking specifically for that or are in that area and might want to know. And how it works is that your potential customers, anyone with Google Maps or anybody with an Android phone, can buy apps or attach apps to their system that allow them to connect with their local businesses. And if they want to be notified when they're near something that has an offer, that app allows them to be given that information, and you can get a customer right there off the street. It's very convenient for your customers, and it's very convenient for you. So check it out. It's really worth looking into. The last part on this column on the left is Insights, which is basically your analytics for your Google Places and Google Plus when connected, of course. And this will help you to collect and observe data to help you manage your campaigns and marketing strategies. And we'll go over that in some later videos. So in the last part down here, after you've been through all of that, you have two more aspects that can be added to a new Places dashboard. I don't believe either of these are available other than if you have the new Places dashboard. And each of these come with their own stipulations. So if you are a business and you don't have your address available for the public, more than likely you're not going to need, or even, I don't think Google even offers you to have what's called Street View, a virtual tour of your business with Street View technology. So basically they're taking, Google Maps and Google Earth and taking the Street View from the address out in front of your location and making that available inside of Maps, inside of local Google Plus, and even inside of some of the search queries that come up in Google search. So the last part is definitely only for businesses that you are able to walk into. Right now they don't have it available for any other kind of business outside of a physical location you go to. And this is pretty cool because you can hire specific photographers and they'll take a picture that's 360 and you're able to maneuver around inside of their business just as if you were navigating in Google Maps on the streets. Both of these are great to just give your customers a good sense of where you're located and also what the inside of your business looks like. So I'm expecting to see some interesting things in the next few years with what companies do that have a local business where you can set up the 360 business photos. So that pretty much covers the basis of places for business inside of Google and how it connects to the outside world and how it connects to your social layer within Google+.
Well, there we go. Thanks to Travis for putting this together. And your next steps, if you haven't yet joined the Plus Your Business community on Google+, then do go ahead. We're a friendly bunch, and we'll also be able to support you as the changes all happen on Google Local. If you have any specific questions, then please get in touch from the plusyourbusiness.com website, and we'll see how we can help. Look forward to connecting with you further.